Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Debunked. Debunked is a series where I react to videos and clips you send me on my Telegram. And inshallah you'll find the link to my Telegram in the description of the video. So ala barakatillah, let's watch the first clip and come back.
If you're a Muslim that celebrates Christmas, if you're a Muslim that has a business and puts up decorations that says Merry Christmas to all of your customers, if you're a Muslim that says Merry Christmas to Bill at the office or Ted from the school, just know that you're making revert lives harder. I'm out here trying to maintain a relationship and make sure my parents are comfortable and explain to them how I can't come to the most important holiday of the year and I can't say Merry Christmas because it's against my religion. Pops is clapping back like, I have a Muslim guy that I buy cars from time to time. He always calls me and says Merry Christmas. He's a real Muslim from the Middle East. And you can't say it to me, son? Y'all have nothing at stake. No relationship at stake. Why are you doing this? It's an unforced error.
Subhanallah, this is something a lot of us don't think about. When we Muslims sin publicly in the land of the disbelievers, we don't realize that these non-Muslims, probably the majority of them, don't read the Quran to learn about Islam, but learn about Islam by reading the actions of the Muslims. So when a new Muslim accepts Islam and he's doing his best to avoid sin, and the most important thing to avoid is shirk, he'll be faced by criticism and probably oppression because his family and parents will use the actions of the sinful Muslim as criteria to judge him and even make it harder for him to follow his religion in the correct manner, especially when he's below the age of 18. Take Mo Salah for example. Each year we are criticizing him and reminding him to stop posting pictures of him celebrating Christmas, but unfortunately without any success. Subhanallah, a simple Google search will make you understand what Christmas actually means. Let's just go to the National Geographic website, but just the kids version. Christmas is a Christian festival that celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe was the Son of God. Christians celebrate the birth of the Son of God, and this is shirk, clear-cut polytheism. How can a Muslim muwahid participate in the celebration of the birth of the Son of God? A'udhu billah from shirk and the callers of shirk. And they say, the most merciful has taken for himself a son. You have done an atrocious thing. The heavens almost rupture therefrom, and the earth splits open, and the mountains collapse in devastation that they attribute to the most merciful a son. Look at the seriousness of attributing a son to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for some reason we have Muslims participating in the celebration of such shirk. And I believe there is a big chance Mo Salah is the reason a new Muslim revert was oppressed by his family, for the simple fact that he refused to celebrate Christmas with them and participate in their shirky festivities. And the family of the new Muslim used Mo Salah as their evidence. Look at this Arab Muslim celebrating Christmas. He knows better than you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all our new brothers and sisters and protect them from all evil. And I want to remind all my Muslim brothers and sisters of this very serious hadith. And Ibn Umar قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من تشبه بقوم فهو منهم. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, he who copies any people is one of them. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم warned us against imitating the disbelievers, because we Muslims are commanded to oppose the polytheists and the people of the book. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is warning us against imitating the disbelievers, and we are called to imitate the people of faith and obedience. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the people of obedience and grant us success in this life and the next.
Stop talking about unity. Stop lying to yourselves and lying to others. There is no unity possible with people when you have no foundations with. When people say Shia-Sunni unity, they are either absolutely ignorant or they're working for the Shias. We can be compassionate and kind to each other. There's nothing stopping you from being gentle and kind to people. When you say they are not from your religion, is not a hostile statement. It's a statement of fact. It's not something like we are trying to spread hatred against the Shia. No, they want to believe in all these shenanigans. By all means, believe in worse things. Think what you like. Don't say that we are all brothers. No, we're not. We are on a different religion.
We're not enemies.
Enemies, when Shias get in power, they will,
This is 100% accurate. How can a person claim to be from Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah and call for unity with the people who insult our mother Aicha radiallahu anha the mother of the believers.
Question here. What is the status of Aicha radiallahu anha in Shia Islam? Is it permissible to slander her or any of the companions in Shia Islam? Well, without a shadow of doubt, as the wife of the Prophet, she occupies a position as the mother of the believers in the Quran. But within the Shia school, she is not seen very highly at all.
How can a person claim to be from Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah and call for unity with the people who believe that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum are disbelievers?
Is asking what your opinion is about the Sahaba, mentions Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman. If your belief is that they are munafiq, hypocrites, then how is it that Allah relied on the help of these particular hypocrites? If, however, your opinion is that they are believers, then how is it possible that these believers went and disobeyed the command of Allah, particularly the command with regards to imamah? This is from a Sunni brother or sister.
So with regards to the individuals named in the question, we have reservations against them. We have some very strong reservations against them. Let's just put it that way.
Who are you to have reservation against people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself promised paradise? As for the foremost, the first of the immigrants and the helpers and those who follow them in goodness, Allah is pleased with them and they are pleased with Him, and He has prepared for them gardens and the rich rivers flow to stay there forever and ever. This is the ultimate triumph. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying explicitly in the Quran that He is pleased with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and we have this Mu'ammam speaking against them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide the Shia back to the truth. The companions radiallahu anhum are not infallible. They can make mistakes, but their mistakes are nothing compared to their ocean of good deeds. And if you consider yourself a Muslim, you should submit and accept what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran about how to deal with the mistakes of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. And those who come after them will pray, "O Lord, forgive us and our fellow believers who preceded us in faith, and do not allow bitterness into our hearts towards those who believe. Our Lord, indeed you are ever gracious, most merciful." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanded us to pray for the companions radiallahu anhum, love them, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them. Not start talking against them and spreading their mistakes and even lying about them. The companions radiallahu anhum, all of them are a red line. And anybody who insults any of the companions radiallahu anhum is not my brother. And anyone who insults Muawiyah radiallahu anh is my enemy until the day of judgment. Subhanallah, these people don't do anything for Islam. They are just obsessed with us Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, trying to misguide us or irritating us. They do not call the disbelievers to Islam. Their whole dawah is just to focus on us. Brother Shamsi, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, explained it perfectly.
Shia, what have you done? What have you done? Who spread Islam all the way to China? Is it Umar ibn Khattab? Who conquered Persia and Roma? Is it Umar ibn Khattab? Who spread Islam to Africa? Is it Uthman ibn Affan? Is it Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan? Who spread Islam to Spain and Portugal and France? Is it the Sahaba? Shia, what have you done? What have you done? Wallahi, as-Sahaba, my brothers and sisters, love them. Allah praise them in the Quran. السابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه وأعد لهم جنات تجري تحتها الأنهار. الصحابة الجنة رافضة they say no, they know Jannah. So what? Allah is wrong. أعوذ بالله.
I advise all my brothers and sisters watching this video to put a question mark on anybody who tried to minimize the misguidance of the Shia. Such a person, it doesn't matter if he's famous or has a large following. The fact that he doesn't feel compelled to defend the companions radiallahu anhum or the honor of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam means he's not fit to teach Islam or give da'wah. He's either ignorant about the reality of the Shia, so he's not qualified to speak about such issue, or he knows yet he chose to promote their misguidance, proving that he is not really from Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Either way, he is not a person to trust or take Islamic information from. Inshallah, let's move on to the next clip.
Le président des grandes institutions de la République, les anciens premiers ministres, les chefs d'état-major général des armées, le ministre d'État présent à la cérémonie, les doyens et vice-doyens du corps diplomatique, le membre du cabinet du maréchal.
This is Mohammed Idris Deby, the president of Chad. And the reason I wanted to show this video is to remind my audience and Muslims in general that there are many people here in Africa that deserve to know the truth and be called to Islam. Chad, for example, is a country that is not officially considered a Muslim country, but more than 50% of the country are Muslims. And probably a lot of the people watching this video never heard of a country named Chad and don't know that they have Chadian Muslim brothers and sisters. And I believe we don't need to only focus on giving dawah to the West and Europe. Africans also need to be called to Islam. Christians are doing it. They come to Africa and they even learn the local languages trying to call to their misguidance. Our African brothers and sisters are doing their job and refuting them.
It's very clear he have not said I am God, and you testified that.
Because who in his right mind will ever leave the worship of the one true God to the worship of a human being? But an additional help is always appreciated. So inshallah we can see in the future more and more dawah organizations and dawah missions to come to Africa and call the non-Muslims here to the truth of Islam. And trust me, people here in Africa are more ready to accept the truth than people in the West. You will find entire tribes accepting Islam. They are just waiting for a Muslim to come and remind them of the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all the non-Muslims from all around the world to the truth and accept Islam, the religion of all the prophets of God and the only truth.
And anyone who tastes its sweetness will never leave it, even if it's cut into pieces.
ولهذا قال هرقل عظيم الروم لأبي سفيان.
ولذلك هرقل said to Abu Sufyan رضي الله تعالى عنه.
لا هني ما يصير ترد يعني لأنه ما أسلم بعد.
أو بعد.
هذه فائدة لك أنت. الصحابة إذا كان القصة قبل الإسلام
الله
ما ترد يعني، إذا بعد الإسلام تترد يعني.
جزاك الله خيرا.
وأنا ما ترضيت عنه صح؟
جزاك الله خيرا.
قال هرقل عظيم الروم لأبي سفيان.
شيخ لابد أن أذكر الفائدة لهم.
قول.
The Sheikh mentioned a very good benefit. Abu Sufyan, as you know, he later became a companion. So I just said radiyallahu anhu because he became a companion. But he said in this story he's not a companion yet. So he said I didn't say radiyallahu anhu, so don't say radiyallahu anhu because he's not a companion in this story right now. He then later becomes it. And it's a
يعني ما يصير أنت تقول قائد المشركين في غزوة أحد أبو سفيان رضي الله عنه ما يصير.
So, for example, you can't say Abu Sufyan, the leader of the disbelievers in the battlefield, radiyallahu anhu. You don't say at that time, even if he later became a companion.
لكن تقول أسلم أبو سفيان في عام الفتح رضي الله عنه.
Or you can say Abu Sufyan, he embraced Islam on the conquest of Mecca, radiyallahu anhu. Jazakallah khair. Faida latifa. Jazakallah.
This is a live example of how Islam as a religion is preserved, because we do not stay silent about mistakes, even if they are done by people we consider friends or close to us. Truth is the truth and should be always made clear for the people. Sheikh Muhammad Hisham Tahiri Hafidahullah corrected Ustad Abdul Rahman Hassan Hafidahullah on something that many people would consider small and not that important. But for our scholar, everything in Islam should be preserved, and the information about our beautiful religion should be shared in the correct manner always. That's why refutations in Islam are permissible. When a person is refuted, it doesn't matter if it's privately or publicly. If the truth has been made clear to him, then he should follow it and be grateful that he has a brother who cared enough about him to correct his mistakes. Let there be a group among you who call others to goodness, encourage that is good, and forbid what is evil. It is they who will be successful. We came to the end of this episode of Debunked. I hope you benefited from this video. You can also watch this video about another episode of Debunked. And don't forget to subscribe to not miss any future uploads. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.